Hello, welcome back to the 90s Mags podcast, your podcast for all things Newcastle United, hosted by three lifelong Newcastle United supporting buddies. Myself, D-Man, joined by my co-host Jefferson and AC. You guys good?
What up? What
Good
up? What
evening. Good
up?
evening. Good
Yeah?
evening. Yeah.
Refreshed? Feeling good?
Mm.
Yeah?
I,
Yeah?
I, I feel a bit tired. Even I didn't even go to the game, but I feel tired. I know you're tired
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I'm knackered, bro. Knackered, but well worth it, man. Well worth it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, hit the notification button so you know that every time we go live, new episode and all of that. But yeah, we all know what we're here to discuss. The recent victory, another victory, shall we say, this time against the mighty Arsenal. Yeah, at the Emirates. League Cup semi-final first leg. It finished Arsenal 0, Newcastle United 2. Yeah, a result that very few expected, a scoreline that very few expected, including the Arsenal fans. But yeah, man, a lot to get through. Lots of performances, setups, the goals, certain strikers hitting the landmark and all that stuff. But yeah, man, all good, all good. So let's take it from the top as usual. Quick summary of the game. AC, thoughts on the game?
Well, I guess thinking about the game, I got to go with my prediction, and I predicted 1-1. I said it'd be a draw, and I thought it was going to be a tight game. To be honest, it did start off a bit tight, wasn't it? It was a bit like, because I think we've been so used to seeing Newcastle at the moment just score within the first 10 minutes. And this time it didn't happen. And I was just like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a bit different. Because let's face it, with the lineups, Arsenal put up a very strong side. In fact, it was just a normal side they would put out in the Premier League. So there wasn't much of there wasn't any youth team or nothing like that. They took this game seriously as much as they wanted to, like we did. But lo and behold, though, boy, this game, it was there's a few tales in it. There were some moments where Arsenal, I felt like, could have taken the lead, and we'll get into that Martinelli shot when he hit the post and such. But it's quite funny when he even took that and we ran up to it, I knew he was going to miss. It was just one of those things. I knew he was going to miss. And lo and behold, obviously, Isak gets a goal and such. But overall, just a very top level summary for me. I'm very proud of these guys, man. I'm very proud of this team. Honestly, I'm so proud of them. I think I mentioned in the group to you guys. It was almost got emotional. I was like, man, I'm proud of these guys. Every single player put in a shift. Every single player put in a shift. And I felt like even when the subs came on, they still had it down a bit. And I was a bit nervy when the subs came on because I know what it's like when the starting 11 has put so much energy into it. The subs could come on quite cold and not gel into it immediately because how intense the pressure was. Because at the time of 65 minutes, we pretty much had to hold down the fort for the remaining of the game to defend. And it's going to go down in history, probably one of the best defensive performances I've ever seen from this team, from this particular era as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, great result.
Yeah, great result. I mean, a bit of a special one for myself because I've never been to the Emirates. Well, I've been to the Emirates before, but I've seen Brazil play. I've never seen Arsenal play. I've never seen Newcastle play at the Emirates as well. So it's my first time going. Sitting with the Newcastle fans as well, which is special as well. And obviously the video that we posted on the way there, although I predicted that a 1-0 loss originally. But as I was going to the game now, I saw the lineups now. Still a bit nervous, but I did say that either Isak or Gordon would score. I didn't think both of them would. But listen, it was seeing them live. It was the way we won as well. We found a different way to win. You said obviously we're used to in this run we're used to scoring early, and coming up against a team like Arsenal who's very good defensively. This wasn't the case, but we found a different way to win. We treated the first half and second half in two different ways. But what impressed me is that when we've beaten Arsenal before, it's been a back to the wall job from the get-go. We sneak a goal. This time was completely different. We didn't actually, we'll get to it anyway, but we didn't sit off in the early stages. We actually took it to Arsenal, which really impressed me. And even when we was under siege, the moment we got possession, very few times did we lump it up the pitch. We tried to pass it around before to progress up the pitch. Sometimes it didn't come off and stuff, but I was impressed. There was no panic in throughout the whole 90 minutes. Nobody was panicking. But we'll get to the dynamics of the game, what I saw from my viewing that a bit later. But yeah, I mean, the game would build, about Isak's his dress rehearsal for showing Arsenal what he can do and all them things there, whatever. It's all different. But
Fools.
he absolutely slapped them about for 60 minutes. Yeah, I was very impressed with him as well. But yeah, listen, the tie's not done. But as far as results could go, I don't think anybody could think of anything better. So yeah, very impressed. Jefferson?
Yeah, mightily shocked with the result and the performance. I mean, gotta say it's up there with probably one of the best wins in Eddie's tenure that this team has had for quite a few different reasons. I think we were really controlled, like you said, in terms of the aspects of possession. We weren't just wasting it and lumping it long. There was some ambition there. And what I liked was, I touched on it in the previous pod about, a boxing analogy. So if I was to use a boxing analogy again, yes, there were times that we had our guard up. There were times it was really backs to the wall stuff. But at the same time, we rolled off the ropes and was counter punching. And I said it, although I didn't quite get the score right. I did say it in my prediction that they got caught out in a similar way against Brighton, and we could sucker punch them in the same way. And we did so to devastating effect, really, because that's 2 nails in the coffin. I can't see us conceding 3 goals at home. I think the best Arsenal can hope for is to score 2 and take it to pens. So I would say we do have one foot in the final, to be honest with you. Obviously, there's another 3 weeks, a month to see if we can hold our form. Obviously, we'll talk about the individuals that stood out and what was a really good performance. Now, what I'm going to go out and say is this. This, guys, is, for me, personally, the first credible win in our run, right? Because I'll tell you why. And it's absolutely huge. And I'll tell you why. There are no variables. There are no ifs and buts. The only thing was, okay, Saka was injured. That aside, Arsenal were strong. Yeah. Like you said, AC, they took it seriously. Anything, we were on the back foot because we had no Share and no Bruno. So there's no variables of, yeah, there was this sickness, or this player was injured, or this. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're in this position. We
They're at
played
full
a top
force.
team and we dealt with them, innit? There's no ifs, buts, maybes. That's why for me, this is like the first big one. I'm like, right, now I'm starting.
Odegaard was playing as well.
Yeah, there's no excuses.
Was he?
And what I love was the discipline. We showed the same discipline like we did against Spurs, but we were exceptionally clinical. And again, yeah, I thought it was a risk, for example, say with Botman, but he's continuing to just show his class, isn't he? So
Botman,
yeah, heads in the clouds.
We can talk about Botman for like 20 minutes.
Seriously, we might as well talk about it a little bit now, because talking about the Jefferson alluded to it, the lineups, right? Because a lot of people thought that Botman might be rested, me included. Thought because 2 games in the matter of days after being 10 months out, and obviously he went down with a bit of a cramp. I think it was in the Spurs game. I thought, okay, maybe resting for this one, get the run out against Bromley, and then go from there. But obviously, the medical team, they've done their job. They've seen him in training and the matches that he's played. They feel that he was fit enough. And listen, glad that he did, because he was exceptional. Yeah, him and Dan Burn was exceptional. But the lineup itself, he made no changes other than that. Obviously, Willett came in for the suspended Bruno. But yeah, when you saw the lineup, were you happy with it, AC?
Yeah, I think I was, to be honest, because though I did have a slight thought of maybe this could have been a game for Miley to come in for the midfield. I had that slight thought. But at the same time, when I saw Willock on the team sheet, I was still happy with that. And lo and behold, I think a lot of fans were thinking almost like the default what Eddie Howe would used to do now. I would say used to do, like in the past, like he would have just slotted in Longstaff regardless. And it's quite interesting now that Longstaff is just not automatically placed in. It's really interesting. And I do wonder there's a little bit more to this, because I think Longstaff is on the cards of potentially moving to another club. Whether it would be this window, I don't know if it would be. but potentially soon. I don't know, because if you look at our pecking order of midfielders at the moment, and I'm not even like picking on Longstaff in this kind of way, and I'm not trying to be mean, but in the pecking order of midfielders, he's currently stacking at the bottom. I think in terms of like, we're talking about quality of a player, technical ability, and looking at that as well, when thinking about Bruno being missing, I almost see people like Miley being quite closely to be a good replacement for Bruno in that placement. And it's quite interesting how Willock fitted in. And we can talk about Willock's performance as well, because it was one of those games where I think he did well, Willock, he did good. And I know there's some parts that some people might criticize very closely and be like, he wasn't that good in some parts, this and that. But at the same time, I think Willock, at the same time, he hasn't really started many games as well.
That's the thing. He needs a run. He needs a run.
He needs a bit of a run of games. And I think giving him Bromley this weekend maybe would be good for him as well, just to get up to speed a bit more.
Yeah.
Because quickly, as you can see, with Botman coming back, even with that game against Spurs, even if we conceded that goal and Botman was a bit rusty, you can see now quite quickly this guy is running up to speed. His awareness, dealing with the threat from a defensive perspective, was just almost like this guy was not missing for the last 10 months.
Yeah.
Like seriously. So it proves to you that match fitness and consistency of games as well does really help a player. But overall though, man, I was pleased with the lineup and it looked strong, and I was like, yeah, we're going for it basically.
Okay. So Jefferson, what did you think about the Arsenal lineup? Were you surprised that they went so strong?
Not really, because it is a semi-final. They're at home, and it's a prime opportunity to press home an advantage of some kind. So I guess you can argue Arteta kind of revealed his cards in terms of showing his intent for the game. But it didn't work. I mean, don't get me wrong, they had opportunities that they didn't take. We rode it out. But it just shows, man, the only stat that matters is the score sheet. We were really, really clinical with the chances that we did have.
Yeah.
And I think Botman, Burn, to be honest, the whole defense, like there is no man of the match. You could say all 11, but basically the defense were the man of the match, like all 4 of them. So yeah, we did ride our luck, but at the same time, we kept our defensive shape. We were very well organized.
Let's talk about the game itself. Let's go through it then.
Sorry.
Obviously we saw the lineup. So yeah. So to be fair, from the kickoff, we did, like I said, we weren't on the back foot. We were defending on the halfway line. We were trying to push Arsenal back as fast as we could. And the first opportunity actually came to Joe Linton when Isak did a little run. I think he squared it to Joe Linton. He skied it. I think that was quite early on. No, I think that was quite early on.
The ball bobbled, didn't it?
Yeah. But then obviously after that, Arsenal had a spell, and obviously set pieces were always the day. I was worried about set pieces because I was sitting at the end with the Newcastle fans. So when they're taking their corners and stuff, I thought what they were doing. Yeah, they were stacking at the back post, right? So we were doing a zone marking in the middle, but they had about 4 players at the back post, and then someone would spin from the center to the back, and they'd all come rushing forward. Panic, but we dealt with it quite well. But obviously, I think Timber put a header over early on. I think Gabriel had a shot as well. But the main opportunity from the first half was that Martinelli chance. I think Willock had lost possession deep in their half, and then they've just broke. And that's the one time obviously Botman got beaten for pace because he caught under it. But he's going through, and I'm standing with the Newcastle. They're going no. And I think, and even I thought he's going to bag this, I thought this is it.
Did you? You thought he was going to score?
Yeah, because he's going through. Obviously, it's Martinelli, so you can never really think he's going to finish it. But he's going through 1-on-1, and I thought he's got the freedom of the goal with the rack just to wrap it, and he pings the post. I thought, right. And when I saw the replay, when he ran with the ball, he kind of shifted too far to the right, kind of thing, which kind of
that's why I thought when I was seeing it first time, I didn't think he was going to put it away because he created himself a more difficult angle. Because even though Botman obviously was struggling with the pace, Botman was still there beside him, so he couldn't cut in. And I don't know, it's quite interesting because before the game, like the pundits and such were talking about, oh, Martinelli's in form and this and that. There was obviously the whole like Sky was just bigging up like Arsenal, saying how much they're in form and this and that. But you know, when we saw this team play, I was just like, I don't know, man. This team looking quite potty right now, and you know, and
But you know, what I noticed in that first half, also, sorry to cut you, that Arsenal they were doing their little tippy tappy football, but they were just passing sideways, passing over. But a lot of that had to do with the way Newcastle defended, because when I was looking ahead on, they were moving across the pitch like a symphony. All in the same, like, and the space between each player was so tight, and the fitness levels was like every time Arsenal players got the ball, two of them would swarm them. They'd pass it, another two would swarm. It was, and obviously the pivotal person that was Tonali, he didn't give them an inch in midfield. Like I think he was covering the role of Bruno and him at once. Like he was everywhere. We'll get to Tonali a bit later, but Arsenal was struggling to penetrate our defense kind of thing, and even worse in the second half, the way we was moving across the ball, across the pitch was really good. But our structure was really good. But obviously, we go ahead now. So, Jefferson, I want to know your thoughts on the first goal.
Yeah, I mean, key is Botman obviously getting that knock on. Now, it's quite funny because clearly Murphy did not mean that as a pass. He's clearly sort of miscued. I don't know if he got caught in between wanting to pass or just took a really heavy touch. And fortuitously, it's literally rolled at the right pace for Isak. Now, it looked a good finish. He hits it into the roof of the net. I think it wasn't even his intention to hit it that high, but he just knew he needed to get it above the keeper, which is intelligent enough. A little bit reminiscent of the goal against PSG last season, actually, where he just hits it into the roof of the net. And it looks, it looked like he scored it in spectacular fashion. And I think the tension's high because it was a cagey game, a lot of stakes, but also on the basis that they feel they've got some kind of ownership of him. So for him to be the player to score that opening goal in the tie, I don't know, that might have sent a few kind of mental messages to them as well. Kind of, I'm sure the defenders were quite fearful of him. Like, man, we can't,
He made Saliba look average. For the 63 minutes he was on the pitch. But it's ironic that Arsenal are known for their set pieces and we score from a set piece, which I thought was nice. But before we rack lyrical more, what were your thoughts, AC, on the actual goal itself?
I screamed my house down. That's what I say. Screamed my house down. Delightful, man. It was just delightful. And it's also, it did start from Dubravka as well. And we'll get into Dubravka later on because at the end of the game, he was tearful, which sends a lot of messages that, I think we can confidently say that this is probably his last game. Because the rumor is speculating even more that agreements are set for him to go to Saudi, and it might be just be down to us now. We'll definitely talk about Dubravka a bit later because, to be honest, like, I don't get too much into it now, but he's had a bit of a journey within Newcastle as a club and such, and he went to loan at Man United, which I hated at the time. But I feel like, I don't know, man, this run of games into the end of his career here has been good, but obviously him being part of this goal, man, it's just like, you can't make this up, man. This is just like written in the stars. But the way Isak took that shot, though, was just like, it's incredible. Every shot he takes, it looks so, I don't know, so finessed. I don't know. It's just crazy. And the time he had to react within that, I know, obviously, the pundits and stuff were just applauding it so much. They were just like, there's a big status that's coming up on Isak now. People are now saying he's the best striker in world football right now.
Of course,
which is a big statement, right? And you know what?
15th for the season. Is it 15th for the season? Isn't it?
14th or 15th. Yeah, something like that. Was it a foul though? Anything for a foul to push on Odegaard?
The Odegaard push.
Yeah.
No, man.
As a Newcastle fan, no. But we've seen them given,
He just said, "Move, man, get out of the way." Yeah.
At the end of the day, you need to be. It's a physical game, It's a physical
Yeah.
game.
Why they've left him on him, I don't know. The most lethal striker on the pitch is you leave Odegaard on him.
Yeah.
If he fell to the floor, they might have given it.
I was gonna say, if Odegaard went to the floor and like holding his head and all, you know, there's a good chance that goal would have been called off. But because there was like zero reaction.
VAR looked at it and said it wasn't a foul. So big up Brant in the chat. He just said 15 goals in all comps and 19 goal involvements all games. So
amazing.
Yeah.
He's the best at the moment. The best.
But what is it? 50 goals in 89 games? Is that what he's got? 50 goals, is it?
I think so. That's all comps as well, because I think it's 44 in the Premier League. I think.
50 in 89. Yeah. Faster than Alan Shearer. Yeah. For 50 goals. Yeah. Only Andy Cole and Les Ferdinand did it.
Let me bring up the celebration, because when this was announced last night, because I wasn't even aware this was going to be his 50th goal. I don't know.
I didn't. I thought close. Yeah, I thought it was 48 he was on, but fair enough.
Yeah. I thought it was something like that. And then when obviously the club announced through social media and stuff that 50th goal, and I was just like, what a game to do it in, though.
Well, that's a screensaver right there. Yeah, that's a screensaver.
It is a screensaver, but like, I don't know, man. It's really interesting because there's so much talk about Alexander Isak at the moment. And it's funny because he's one of the players that we knew he's been a lethal weapon since day one. And it's almost been like really under the surface. And it's quite funny now how it seems to be 2024. I don't know. It's just like appear above surface. And it could be the fact that we got other players in the Premier League right now who are, I could say they are underperforming, like Haaland, etc. Right? And there's conversation about comparing him and that, but I'm hearing a lot of consistency of people saying that like Isak is the all-round striker, which is something that we've been saying for a while as well. You know, I know. Look, I don't know if these people listen to our podcast or not, but it feels like people are just like copying our homework a little bit, right? But we got to crown this king, man. Crown him. 50 goals, like. And there were some other stats as well in comparing with other players who reached 50 goals as well for our club. Shearer and such, and Isak has been faster than Shearer to reach 50 goals in amount of games.
Yeah, it's only Les Ferdinand and Andy Cole did it quicker than only those two.
And then there's a player. There's a player who's currently on 49
for the last 6 months.
And it feels criminal. Man. It feels criminal. This player, we're talking about Callum Wilson, who's been at our club for a very significant amount of time. And we all like to joke about his injuries and such, even though it's not a joke. But you know, he's barely around to play to even capitulate on those goals. But to see this brother right here come in and just overtake in the inside lane,
wow,
right?
He must be pissed.
He must be annoyed about it. Face it, but
because he might even get a chance to make 50 goals. I think he might do, but he might not. You know, they could just cut tight. You never know.
Is that the moment? Is that the moment with Wilson?
With
Wilson at the moment, I can't see when he's going to come back. And it's at a point, and I think a lot of us, I know around September, October time, I know D-Man was on the podcast and he was just like, oh, when you expected him back? And I was like, no, he ain't coming back. And I still stand with that. He ain't coming back. At the moment, we're playing with one striker pretty much.
And that's a dangerous thing.
It's a dangerous thing as well. And we can probably get into that because a little bit talking about Bromley, we need the suitors to come in and such. I don't want to see Mr. King right here play against Bromley for them, man, to like chop out his legs.
Down.
Nah, man. Put this guy in cotton wool, wrap him up.
Yeah, he's not playing there. I think they confirmed he's not playing against Bromley. He's
right. And then have him set for Wolves at home. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Speaking of good to go, shall we get to the comments?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot in here. Let's start with Stephen at the top. A lot of
soreness as expected, but what a performance by the lads. Yeah, man. Listen, the Arsenal fans, I think they're more upset with their own team and Arteta. Yeah. And the fact they didn't take the chance. And it's the fact they haven't got a gunman up front that we have. Yeah. And it was on show. Yeah, we were clinical and they weren't. And they also praised Anthony Gordon, which we'll get to as well, kind of thing. But yeah, big up Stephen, locked in.
Thing is, they can't afford Isak. We talked about in the last podcast about his worth.
Yeah, they can't.
honestly, I think this guy is, it's a flat line. It's 150 mil now.
Yeah. Brant's come in. He said first half it was open play back and forth. Second half we had to lock down due to our players being knackered. Yeah, true. But we especially went to the 5-5-0, but we'll get to that. Stephen said
That was
again,
orthodox, boy.
our press is more selective now. You can't do it for 90 minutes. Eddie Howe has learned, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
We play a different way now. We play a different way, and you know what? We keep saying it. We have to give credit to Bunce as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, he's coming. He's obviously made an impact. There's, like I said, probably there's an article in the Athletic about his influence on the team and stuff, and he seems to be working harmoniously with Eddie Howe now, so which is good. On benefits the team.
Can I add something as well? I can't remember what episode it was, but we did talk about it historically. I don't know if it was after the Fulham game where we literally like reached the end. We had to do like a bonus episode, didn't we? But we talked a little bit about, are the fan base happy to have a coach that's still learning on the go, that's experimental? If so, fine. And it looks like with a bit of patience, he's finding, and a bit of support, he's finding his way there. So the next question would be, is that fine for the level we are at now? Do you know what I mean? In terms of where we want to go? Because obviously, if this is the case, Eddie's showing potentially that with more time, he can keep improving. But is that at the same pace the club is growing at? So let's see. But for now, he's done really well.
Now this is a very good question from Brant. Yeah, he said, "Who are starting centre backs once Shearer is back?" Now, I'll be honest. You can't displace Dan Burn because he's been our best defender all season. Yeah, bar Lewis Hall, should I say? Yeah, but best centre back, best performing centre back. The way Botman has performed since he's come back, we knew he's going to come back eventually, like, you know, take his spot, but. Remember, he's playing right centre back now, yeah, and
it's not in this natural position.
It's not in that position, and he's excelling. He's excelling. I'm not saying Shah can't come in now and again, but first of all, you're showing your indiscipline to get banned twice in the season so far, yeah. So for that, you need to sit down for a little bit because you can't behave yourself. So you're just gonna have to learn the hard way, yeah. I know he's going to sign a contract extension and stuff, but what justification is there to displace Botman at the moment? Other than giving him a rest.
The only thing I will say about Mr. Fabian Schär, we haven't heard that for a while, is Fabian Schär scores goals, man. And people will forget it. He has saved our bacon in some games. And he has
the right to left switch as well.
He has that in his locker. And I think there is a little bit of a risk of playing two left-footed guys at the back like that, man. There's a risk because, like, I was watching it carefully. I was like, me analyze Botman just a little bit just to see how he's dealing with it. But obviously, my man's just technically gifted in it, so he can still just play it to the left of Hall. And Hall was doing his business anyway. And in fact, Hall was like helping Botman a lot as well. So it's just like, and that's another thing about this team at the moment. It seems to be that everyone is just fighting for everyone. It's really like a tight unit that everyone's got each other's back as well. So I think that almost is like really helping Botman come into the team. But as for our starting pairs of centre backs, I don't know, man. I can't answer that question right now because Burns undroppable right now.
Big question, Brant. Big question.
But he made a good point, Brant. He said the only justification is once Pope is back, he's the one who plays out the back with the long passes. So that was, I'm thinking that he might be more suited to it. But what did annoy me yesterday was the Bravka playing out to Burn and Burn playing to Hall all the time and just keep inviting pressure. It just wasn't working. Then they started kicking long. It was a bit better. But before we go to any more comments, second half, we got to talk about the second half. Yeah, before we wrap up the second half, obviously.
Wait, there's energy. There's energy today. There's a lot of comments, man.
There's a lot. But the thing I think Toon Army mentioned in one of his interviews, right? When we started winning, is that we needed to get better at controlling the second half for the first 10, 15 minutes of the second half because we were too sloppy. When we were losing and drawing, we were too sloppy early on, especially against Brentford. Yeah. And credit to the boys, we go 2-0 up, in the 50th minute, and this was actually a well-worked move. It wasn't a counter-attack, you know. I think Willock did Willock win the ball? I think it was. And then we started knocking it around a little bit. Tonali was involved. Isak gets it centrally, sprays it out wide to Murphy, who cuts it inside to Isak. There's 3 defenders surrounding him. He managed to get a shot off, and there's Gordon with the rebound after Raya saves. And listen, another GA for Gordon against a big team. And what I like about Gordon, that he's now doing it away from home. Yeah, because when he was on that great run last season, it was all home goals, whatever. Very few contributions away from home. This time, he's in the groove. He's stepping up now, and that celebration there, Henry-esque. Yeah, and he spoke about it as well. He said, you know, he's a tribute to Henry. You don't want to be saying he's taking a mick in that, but
needs to pay for his crimes. Yeah. Every time people going out, great Southgate is this guy's showing right now. Yeah,
Oh, gosh,
he should pay for his crimes.
He's now on form now.
He's on form, man. It doesn't matter the opposition. My man's scoring, and that's the same for Isak as well. Actually, it's the same for like our front three at the moment. For Murphy as well. Murphy's performing against any side right now as well. And I've got to give credit to Murphy, man. He's playing out of his skin right at the moment.
Another combination, him and Isak. I mean, I still feel he's a squad player.
Yeah.
Depending on our spending situation, I'd keep him as a squad player. But if a decent offer came in, it is what it is. But at the moment, him and Isak, the way they link up, it's good for the team chemistry. If there's combinations that are working, you just have to keep it rolling until it breaks down. And at the moment, it's working.
But yeah, as Brant said, Gordon is a big game player, always shows up against the big teams. Very true, very true. And obviously, once we doubled our lead now, that's when we started to really show our defensive discipline. Yeah, we said to Arsenal right then, come and break us down. And we defended like animals. I said that we first, moving in cigarette, but the block shots, the winning, the aggression, the winning the aerials, from midfield to the defense. I mean, the defense was so good from Tino to Hall, all of them. They were, Martinelli had a decent game, but Tino handled him very well, and he was getting the double up as well. I think it was Joe Linton. I think it might have been. He was everywhere as well.
What's happened to Tino? Because he used to be top 3 on the list that we would be quoting off about his lack of concentration, his lack of effort, but he's had a rocket up his ass recently.
Bro, it's looking at the real deal now, isn't it?
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Go on.
Obviously, he can work on his game going forward. Yeah, but I feel so secure now that he's got it solid at the back, and that's the foundation to build from.
And that's the thing. Because remember, before he was all right, decent guy forward, but then defensively he was going to sleep. So once he combines the two now, he's going to be dangerous, bro. Dangerous. But you see Lewis Hall. I don't care what anybody says, he's the best left back in the league, bro. Yeah, this guy, what he was doing yesterday, handling Trossard, but when he was dumping man on us in the defensive by his corner, and then
he would have 3 men around him. Crazy. 3 men by the byline and just get out.
I noticed the players, particularly I saw Willock, I saw Tonali, obviously Isak, we see him do it every week. We're very press resistant, we can beat a man. Like every player was beating a man, and we actually had, I think, 3 key breaks, because there was one where I think Willock dashed past someone. Yeah, he played the pass a bit too powerful, and it just went behind Isak's leg because he was through. You know what I mean?
I know.
Barnes was beating a man. Like, it just feels like whoever was coming to press, we could beat them instantaneously.
And the way we were dealing with their set pieces, obviously we know what Arsenal threat they pose at set pieces, but the way we were dealing with Dan Burn and Botman winning every duel, like it was, and then the block shots, it was, and then Dubravka when he's called on making good saves, he looked a bit ropey coming for crosses and stuff, but yeah, listen, all right. And what impressed me is that we started with a 4-3-3, then at times we were 4-5-1, then went to 5-4-1, then went to 5-5-0 for the lot when he took off Isak and Gordon. When Gordon went to 5-5-0, he said, yeah, that was Mourinho-esque and Simeone-esque after that, where he's like, thou shalt not pass. Like, obviously, listen, we have to be on it fair to Arsenal. They did have opportunities because Havertz put a guilted chance wide when he hit it onto his shoulder. but you never really thought. Well, I didn't really feel that they were ever really gonna score, especially in that second half. The way we were defending, I thought, yeah, we'll see this game out. And we had a few breaks. Harvey Barnes went through and he slipped. But the effort that we all put in there, like I said, even the sub that came on as well, like it was very impressive,
immense, man. It was immense. And I think we have to take our minds back as well. You know, the great season, we referenced it as well, like 22-23. That season, we were the best team in the league defensively. And I'm almost like seeing that coming back a bit. I'm like, ooh, this is the return of the dragon right here, because it was so solid. And there's one of those games as well where we could have played another 20 minutes. Arsenal are not scoring. It was just one of those games. They were not scoring because these players were putting their body on the line, literally. Literally.
You see that Sandro Tonali? So go on, Jefferson.
I was just going to say, I just had a thought. It's just because I was looking at Gordon. I just had a thought about, the post-game interview. And I also thought about the post-game interview with Bruno against Crystal Palace. He just kind of went rogue and said what he had to say. And I felt, even though it was positive, it wasn't exactly political what Gordon was saying. He was just coming out with honesty and the truth and everything like that. And I'm just wondering if maybe the leadership group has had something to do with this run. If the leadership group themselves have actually gone to the coach and said, look, there are things we're not happy with. Please listen to us. I think we can make some tweaks, blah, 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 blah. And,
well, both Gordon and someone else said after the Brentford game, they just basically had a meeting where the home truths came out and everyone had their say, and they said, look, this ain't good enough. There was a few, it was a bit feisty and that, but they, they got the message. And since Tonali mentioned it and Gordon mentioned it.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah. But speaking of Tonali, though, like that, listen, he showed Thomas Partey and Declan Rice about who's the boss midfielder. Yeah. He absolutely dominated. Yeah. Defensively. This is, we talk about pressure resistance. It's because we play with a certain calmness now, and it's because of him. Yeah. He does not panic.
He never was under pressure.
And the thing is, he will give you the ball and say, deal with it. Otherwise, give it back to me. Yeah. Well, he's not phased. And he's so physical as well. He's very, and I think it was in like 89th minute or something. He went on from his box. He went on some gut-busting run. And he got fouled and the referee didn't call it. And it would have been a great a chance for another goal. But listen, the fact what he's brought to this team, it makes me so happy, but it makes me angry as well, because this brother, Eddie Howe, was petting for so long, not playing him in the six.
That's me so
much. Not even playing him, Then he plays him in the six, and they dropped him against Brentford. We lose again. He brings him back in. We start winning again, bro.
That's what's criminal, isn't it? I will never forget the fact he was missing off that starting lineup against Brentford, and that's the game that we lost, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's so thin margins, but it's just like, man. But obviously, like,
bill comes due at the end of the season.
Bro. But also, I think this is some crazy stat as well. Though I think it's like every game he's played this season, we've won as well. It is like, because remember when he played against Chelsea as well in the cup, we won.
Yeah, when he started in the six, I think we won every game. When he started in the six,
we've won every game. We've won every game.
Crazy.
But and not been scraping it either with flying colours.
Yeah. This is what I mean. It was
with flying colours.
I didn't want to think about this brother getting injured. Yeah, God forbid.
No, man, let's not. Don't put that in the universe. Put it back in the bottle. Throw it away. Listen, but nah, man, Tonali, I'm getting gassed already because I'm thinking about my favorite midfielders for Newcastle, and I'm like, shit, Tonali is like,
he's up there.
Like me, I love Cabaye. Yeah, Cabaye was like one of my favorites. Like he did phenomenal things for us, man. Phenomenal things with in that Pardew era. But I know one day we're gonna have to revisit our best starting 11 for Newcastle. And I feel like this guy, not been around that long. This is still his first proper season. Yeah. We ain't seen nothing yet. And but this guy's he's only 24 as well, by the way.
Yeah. And there's a question, obviously without Bruno, there's a question, is it the first game we've won without Bruno? Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. It's the first game when he's not played a single minute. It's the first game we've won without him. Yeah. So listen. Like Steven said, Tonali at the sixth position has changed everything. Our form has improved since he came in. 100%.
And it's our first win as well at the Emirates in 15 years.
Yeah,
Allow it, man.
madness,
Allow it.
madness.
Since that
Allow it.
Andy Carroll
Header. Yeah.
Header, yeah, Chris Hughton times. Do you know what
But
I mean?
Oh my God.
what pleased me the most is the fact that it wasn't a standard nick a goal, sit back for 90 minutes. We played like we were the better team. Yeah, we went into that game thinking that we were the better team, and that's what Gordon said. We have to go into these games now thinking we're going to win, and that's the belief that we have now. And we have to give Eddie Howe credit for the way he set up the team. The way his tactics, the way he's approached the games now. My only concern is that, well, I say it's concern, but we know what we're going to do. We're going to try blow teams away in the first half and then sit back in the second. But this time, we didn't get the early goal and we didn't panic. Yeah, we bided our time, took our moment, got it, and then we didn't let up in the second half until we got that second goal. Then we said, all right, come and break us down. So it's showing maturity, flexibility,
tactical nous, dare I say, and Arteta particularly in these last two games. This is more of what I want to see.
Yeah.
This is more of what I want to see.
But yeah, big up, Sean.
I just want to continue waxing lyrical about Tonali. Wait, I'm not done. Also, one of the things I'm thinking about here, and I've always thought about this for a long time for our club, is that when the days were rough, man, and I've always thought about we needed players in our team who are actual winners, like straight up winners, like players who believe in winning and can see themselves winning. Because I don't know if you guys pay close attention to those who listen to the podcast right here, but it might be good to follow like Tonali on his Instagram. Because when we win these games, my man's writing out statements. He's like, we're hungry for more. This guy is bloodthirsty right here, right? So I'm just saying that, like, I know Jefferson, you want to read off the credits of Tonali, like he's won this cup at AC Milan, he's captain, this and that, won the league. The man has the credentials. Also, he was part of the Italy team that won Euros as well. So, like I said, we have a winner. And I think that means a lot, and it will do a lot. And I think it shows as well, and I was really proud to see, it's the fact that it's quite a big thing for us as well to win this game without Bruno as well, because for a long time, and I mentioned before, is that we rely on Bruno a lot in the past. We did. Too much because he was like only our creative output at times. Right? He was the only one who could really try and feed Isak, or he's the only one, and obviously sometimes we have to rely on Joe Linton quite a bit and stuff, and sometimes Isak would have to create himself because he can do that, right? But Tonali, man, it's just, I don't know, it's almost just like he's just going to get better and better and better. Because I know as well, this guy has got free kicks on his locker. He can score free kicks,
we're yet to see that. We're going to see it.
I don't know why I'm not taking free kicks yet, because I see him crowd around the ball. I'm like, is this going to be your moment? Are you going to take one today? And he doesn't take it.
I've seen him take one, but you know what? I don't know. I've
seen the Milan highlight reel many times, and this guy is phenomenal free kick taker.
You made a point about, obviously, it was important because it showed we can win without Bruno, and this was not that I thought we'd win, but this was a game that I thought was suited for a game that we didn't need him, but it was a game where we weren't going to see most of the ball, and I thought bringing in someone else in the midfield to do the leg work and recovery work, whatever, I thought would suit us well. Didn't think it would work that well, getting the 2 goals, but like I said, it's a positive sign that should he be suspended or injured for a little bit, we may be okay. What actually worries me more is that if Tonali's not in the team and Bruno has to revert back to the 6, that will concern me more, because like I said, when he was in the team, he would have to do everything. And he at times it wasn't working. We looked a bit limited because we
look quite flat, isn't it?
See, I know that Miley is more of an attacking player, but I think we have to trust him there, because I'm sure he can. I mean, I'm not saying he's not obviously lightning quick, is he? But I'm sure he can cover more ground than Bruno. Because we know with Bruno, I don't think he's going to sit deep. Even if he wins the ball in a deep position, he's going to drive forward. How many times have we seen the space vacated?
Yeah.
So I would trust Miley and say, look, you're good in possession. Sit here for me, boy, and spray, please.
Yeah,
Whole
I think
position as
Miley will
great.
get his chance. I think he will get his chance again. Because it's still a long season ahead. I think he'll get his chance. But Sean left a comment in there. Big up Sean. He said, and obviously the Arsenal fan. He said, "Well done, Newcastle. You can finish your dinner and we can't. No point in all of that possession if you can't do anything with it. I'm not gonna rant as I sound like a broken record." And that's the frustration for a lot of the Arsenal fans. We saw AFTV. If you haven't, it's the meltdowns that they're having over there. It was good to see the Newcastle fans invade it at full time. That was really good to see. But yeah, it's But let's talk about the managers, right? Because we talk about Eddie Howe, what he managed to do, how he played it well. Arteta, right? Because there's a lot of talk about him and what he got wrong and what he has got wrong in not investing in a striker and all that. But he's now blaming the ball. Yeah, he's now blaming the ball for why they didn't put the ball in the back of the net. Not like it wasn't two teams playing with the same ball, right? Now, he also he gritted teeth. He kind of praised us, but he basically said, they created a chance today. We were just clinical, and I think we deserve more credit in that. But it's coming. Arteta's not going to give that.
He's never going to give credit, and I think deep down there's a big rivalry between Howe and Arteta. They don't like each other. But also, when a manager does that and almost is an excuse, he's deflecting the comments off himself. He's deflecting about the game off about him. It's no longer about him now. Everyone's talking about the ball. If you notice, like all social media, everyone's talking about, oh, he's talking about the ball. It's like everyone's focusing about the ball now. It's taken off Arteta, actually. It's a very smart way to do your post-game talk without taking the blame on yourself, because I think the Arsenal fans will probably write out and be like, Arteta, what happens basically. Because it's interesting, because once I saw their lineup, it was a strong lineup, man. It was strong. And I saw one of my favorite players on their bench, Mr. Calafiori, as well. I was like, oh no, man. I almost forgot about that guy. And I was just like, this Arsenal have a really, really strong squad. Like, they got
good at left back though, AC. I think he's better at centre back, don't you think?
What's that, Calafiori?
Yeah,
he's better at centre back. I would say so, but also I know he's got that caliber of like Fabian Schär. He can score you a goal as well and such. But because that was one of my fears with Arsenal. I thought that maybe with their squad, with their bench, if we are up, they can change the game if they want to. Do you know what I mean? But
I like what Steven said there. Do you see what I'm saying? That's exactly what I said in the last pod, that we need to get out of this underdog mentality. We are better than the sum of our parts. Like, we keep playing it down, and I get it. The squad lets us down, but that first 11 is definitely top 4 and could, if on our day everything goes well, it's all about luck in this game, isn't it, as well?
Well, I agree with what you just said. Lads. He said the team is better than the team that finished 4th. If only we can keep everyone fit. I believe it is. And we play a better brand of football. Maybe because we control, we don't control games, but we have more control than we did. Before it was just
get better at possession now, a little bit
better with possession now. Yeah,
because
it's slowly happening.
We're playing the same way. Forest, we used to 2 years ago is what Forest are doing now. Yeah, sit back, hit teams on the break, and then defend. Yeah, now. And we know that's not sustainable. When you get to next season, teams are going to figure Forest out. Yeah, whether they can sustain for this season. But they're going to have to adapt next season. But similar to us, that's how we did it. So fair play to them. But like I said, now we're bringing the control. What we need to do now is in the next coming windows is get an understudy for Tonali, get an understudy for the fullbacks, get an understudy for Isak, because we need to have like for likes. We need to rest and rotate, because the moment Tonali comes out of the team, we lose all control. I guarantee we lose all control.
Competition for places. I think we need genuine players that can be in the first team and keep these guys on their toes, that they haven't got a guaranteed start, because I think the start of this season had a little bit of that. I think Gordon had a bit of that, like, like no one's going to challenge me. Like, I'm the best winger at the club. And that's not good enough. We need to keep these guys on their toes. So I would like to see us sign players where the boys are thinking, like, for example, Joe Linton will be thinking, bloody hell, someone's could be taking my place here,
It's
same
true.
as we do
need Joe Linton replacement. Definitely, we need that muscle in midfield. We need
You
a
saw it with Wilson. When
Yeah,
Wilson's always scored for us, but he stepped up to another level when Isak was firing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. You got some to go through some of these other comments. That where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Where do
there's
you
a
want to
few.
start? What timestamp?
Let's start with
I think Would-Be Farmers made a couple of comments as well.
We've done a lot, man.
As good as Cher, Burn, and Botman are, and as familiar as they are with each other, I would hope they would rotate or keep them fresh. I think that's a good one because, again, we just need to have a strong enough. We need to be able to have good enough players that Eddie can trust the squad, and then we can continue to rotate, rather than us feeling a bit trepidatious, like, oh man, this guy's coming in, not sure how it's going to be today. So, for example, if Hall came out and Kelly came in, or Target came in, that's how we would feel. We don't know what performance they're going to give.
yeah.
Do you
But
see what I'm saying?
would you rotate the centre backs though? Because you know obviously Howe likes a set back line, especially the centre backs, because the familiarity and that. But the top. I'm trying to figure the top teams. We know Liverpool's strongest is Van Dijk and Konate. Saliba and Gabriel never played. They're always, if they're fit, they play together. Yeah. So do we rotate the centre backs, or is it a case we find out who the best pairing is and we stick with it? And also, do we go for a right centre back now in the window? Do you think
We have to still.
Yeah, we
I
have
still
to.
think we
We
just
have to.
need one with pace. I still feel we need one with pace because you've seen it with Liverpool. You just mentioned Konate, Van Dijk, and then you look at Arsenal. They didn't stop with Gabriel. They got Saliba. They're not greedy. They got
Yeah.
two athletic centre backs with similar attributes: pace, speed, and strength. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think we have that with the full backs, but we can't keep relying on that. We need a proper centre back with pace.
Yeah, I agree, because I think if Fabian Schär is going to extend his contract as well, I don't think we could rely on him next season. He almost needs to be that player who can come off the bench for us and have that experience, and which will be he'll be a good squad player for, like, if it's like 1 season contract extension, that'd be good for next season just to have that. But I would expect us to get, like you said, Jefferson, an athletic right centre back will be a great addition.
Okay, I see. Stephen came in. He said we need silverware, lads. I was 10 when we won the Fairs Cup in 1969. Hope this is the one. Listen, the tie's not over. Yeah, it's halfway. Should we reach the final, knowing that it's Liverpool or Tottenham? How confident would you be in a one-off game to win that? I know it's a long way away, but how confident would you be? More confident when we played Manchester United?
I think we can do it. Yeah. I think we can do it. I think if I just look at this momentum and build, and I'm keep talking about momentum, but momentum is such a big thing here, the confidence building. And like, if we're approaching the final like we play today, we're winning. And I'm seeing a different attitude with this team at the moment. The belief, like I said, everyone's fighting for each other. There's a unity, like, feels like a long time since I've seen this unity. It's just like transformation is incredible, really. But I'm like, the togetherness, I can't see Spurs turning us over in the final. Liverpool, bit different, but I do think Liverpool can have a lot on their plate. They've got Champions League, they've got the Premier League. In a funny thing, I don't know what the score is at the moment on the semi-final.
1-0, 97th minute at the moment.
To who?
Spurs.
Oh, that's not enough. They're going out. They're going out. It don't matter.
Wait, D-Man, wait. Obviously, Spurs are at home, right? They're at home.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They have to go to Anfield and hold them to 1 goal. They're getting slapped. They are getting slapped at Anfield, bro. Make no mistake. Yeah, it's done. They needed a 2-goal win lead to take it to penalties. Yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting though with Liverpool because, I don't know, man. It's just that thing about, I almost feel like Liverpool have obviously having a great season, and there's something eerie happening because Man United turn up to them, right, and give them a game, and that does make me think. And then here we are now, they're losing against 1-0 against Tottenham. Dare I say it? If Liverpool, I'm not going to say they're going to come off their perch, right? But they're not invincible.
Yeah,
that's my point.
They're not invincible, but this dip that they go might continue because they go to Nottingham Forest next week, right, in the league, right? So they could easily not win there. But But
I think Forest are going to bury them again. I think Forest are going to win.
The time 4 weeks time comes, they're not going to be in this slump. Yeah, they will pick it up and they will slap Spurs. They will slap Spurs. I'm telling you, they will slap Spurs. Trust me. So it's more likely to be a Liverpool Newcastle final the way it stands for me. But I hope I'm wrong because I think the neutral would like to see Spurs and Newcastle in the final.
It'll be really good to see.
You know what I mean?
And on the sideline getting vexed. Yes.
But I see a comment from Stephen again. He said AFTV think they can win at St James's Park. Not a chance. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't think they'll win there. Obviously they have done before a couple of years ago. They won 2-0 on that, but this is a different Newcastle. But form can change within the next 3-4 weeks. Yeah, we don't know. But the way we are at St James's, especially against the big team on a big night like that, I just cannot see it happening. I just cannot see it happening.
They have to score 3 times. They have to score twice to take it to penalties, 3 times to win the game. I can't see us conceding 3 goals. Unless Nick Pope is back in goal, maybe. But
well, he will be. He will be because the
Dubravka is definitely gone. Then
let's talk about Dubravka before we carry on, because obviously when the players did the applause at the end of the game, Byrne pushed Dubravka forward, and we all started chanting Martin Dubravka, and the tears that came to his eyes. And the way his body language, he's like he knew this was the swan song. This was his last dance. And it's a shame because the way he's been performing since he's come back into the team, the way we've been performing as a team, calmness, his distribution, everything. It's, dare I say, he should have been the first choice, even if Pope was back. Now, what that changes.
It's an interesting thing to say that, because I still have memories of last season of Dubravka in goal and him conceding a hell of a lot of goals. And I know as well that we were going through a really bad patch because we had injuries coming out of the woodworks. Like, players would just wake up and be injured. Just like, it was ridiculous. And unfortunately, that unsettledness in our team, we conceded a lot of goals towards the end of the season with Dubravka in goal. And I think, I'll never forget, I can't remember what game it was when Pope came back, and like whole fan base was like thankful Pope came back. And there was a difference, because what Pope is very good at, and I have to give credit to Pope for this, is that he's a very good shot stopper. Very, very good shot stopper. But we know his distribution is shit. Quite frankly, it is shit.
You look at the Dubravka sprays it over like calmly over to Hall or to Tino. He just floats it over. Pope tries it and he just puts it out of play every single time. Like,
how many times have I seen Pope kick it out to the side and the other side gets a throw in? It's like all the time. But I don't know, man. But personally, for me, I feel like it is the right time for Dubravka to go. I think it'd be a mistake for the club to let him stay and then wait till the summer. We'll lose it on a sale. I think if we wait till summer, he walks for free as well. So it makes sense financially.
6 million, 7 million, how much?
Something like that. I think it's
5 to 8 million.
Yeah, I think
even 5 million for a 36-year-old goalkeeper is not bad business, and it will help the TSR. So you know what I mean. It's one of them, and I don't begrudge him his last payday. And probably Eddie Howe couldn't guarantee him that he's going to be the number one when Pope's back. So
yeah, he's been at the club for 7 years. 7 years he's been at the club.
That's a long
7
time.
years. And who signed him?
Rafa.
Yes, Rafa.
Yeah.
4 million quid, or it was loan, and then they turned it to 4 million quid.
Yep. This is a Rafa sign
against Man United.
This is still like, we still got players in our team from the Rafa era. It's crazy when you think that, really. It's just like, like even Almiron's a Rafa era. It's like, what the hell?
Bro, he came on yesterday. Bless him. He put in a shift, but the first thing he did was give away the ball. Then the second thing he did was be offside. And then the first thing he did was slip. I was like, bro, it's just not his day, man. It's not his day. But you know what? Fair enough.
What about Bromley then? Because I think there was a question about the starting lineup.
The game's gonna be the Bromley team that we put out. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be Oddy in goal. I think Trippier, Kelly, Share, and Target. I think the midfield is going to be Longstaff, Miley, and Willock. And up front, you're going to have, I would have said Miggy, but he's gone on holiday. So I'm going to say Osulu up front, Barnes on the left, and God knows on the right. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
Alfie Harrison.
Play a youth player. Exactly. Play a
Maybe.
youth player.
Maybe.
I want some youth come in.
I think
Like,
Bruno might be on the bench.
Where is Sanusi? Like, we got some good players in the youth academy. It's just like we got to bleed them in, because I don't know about you guys, but FA Cup at this time is a bit weird, isn't it? Because you're just like, it doesn't feel like worth anything, and it's so early in the rounds. And because we're in Carabao Cup, it is the focus. And I'm not saying that like I'm willing to take it if Bromley beat us, right? But what I'm saying is just that at this particular time,
it wouldn't bother me.
It wouldn't bother you, right? Correct. It
Yeah.
wouldn't bother me. I'd happy take the loss on its head if it come to it. Yeah.
FA Cup's the one I want, man.
If
Even
that's the circuit breaker, that's the circuit
That's the
breaker.
one I want.
Is that-
If Man
is that what you
United
want?
can win it, we can win it, guys. If Man United won it last year, I know. Listen, I think Man City fixed the damn thing for them.
But you know what?
What?
With the amount of games you have to play and where we are at the moment in the league and where we've got at stake in the League Cup, I mean, that's an extra workload. Unless we're going to get favourable draws every single round up into the quarterfinals, I just don't know, man. I don't know.
Hard work, innit? It's hard work. FA Cup is hard work, man.
Man.
I don't get me wrong. Like, in comparing the cups of Carabao versus FA Cup is more prestigious. Like,
and you get
you-
Europa instead of Conference League.
I know this is. I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
But we want top four now. Top four is the aim now, isn't it? So
I think it is. It's on, man. It's on. And I think as well, we got 5 games now between the next second leg.
4 at home.
4 at the 5 games is at home, which is like, whoa.
And the away one's to Southampton, the worst team in the league. Like, that's mad.
I'm going to that game as well. So
am I. But
I can't wait, man. St Mary's. To be honest,
I'm waiting for Wembley, guys. I'm waiting for Wembley.
I've got quite a good omen going to Southampton. I've been St Mary's quite a few times, and every time I've gone there, we've won. So
we can't win that. Jeez, listen,
nah, man, it's gonna be a bruise. It's gonna be a bruising. Last time I was there, Bruno did the back heel, so that was something. So yeah. I'll take that.
Sean made a comment. He said, "I hate the way Prem teams are adverse to playing the youth." And it's, it's true that there's not a lot of, unless they're forced to grieve by injury, they're not really keen to put the young players through. But maybe it's because there's so much at stake at the moment. There's so much at stake that they can't afford to go with the youth and test it out, kind of thing. When you think about it, if you're fighting for Champions League football, then you need your experienced players. If you're fighting against relegation, you definitely need your experienced players. Yeah. Unless you're in middle of nowhere, no man's land, and that's that towards the end of the season when there's nothing to play for, then fair enough. But right about now, I think that there's too much at stake, especially jobs are on the line and all sorts, and the financial benefits as well, or the implications. Yeah, I get it. It would be good to see young players come through. And don't be wrong, if you're really, really, really an exceptional talent, you will get through eventually. But it's a tricky balance in that, man. But Stevens coming through and said we need some heavyweights on the bench against Bromley just in case. Yeah, I think the likes of Bruno will be on the bench. I think who else maybe Gordon. Well, maybe Gordon. I don't know. Yeah.
Tino, because I think I would like to see Tino at right wing actually against opposition like that. It would be interesting to see how he could play there.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen it once or twice.
That would be quite nice to see actually. Just him just attacking it, because he's not a bad crosser as well, Tino.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's all right. But I think I'd like to see him get a rest, because we got Wolves on the Wednesday, so we need our players fresh for that, because we did look a bit leggy in the last two games.
Yeah, it's a midweek game, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's no rest.
Oh man, these games are coming up thick and fast.
Thick and fast, mate. Thick and fast.
So knowing that, actually, going back to this, then, if I could have it my way, just put a whole youth team against Bromley. Put a whole youth team. Get players I've never heard of. Put them up.
Yeah.
Because if we got Wolves at home on Wednesday, which is quite a crucial game, and if you think about Wolves at the moment, they lost the last game against Forest 3-0 as well.
They got slapped.
They were at home as well.
Yeah.
But Wolves is I don't know, man. They're still.
But saying that though, Forest's keeper had to pull up a bit of a blinder as well in that game as well. I remember they had no Cunha as well. Cunha's back for our game. So
Morgan Gibbs White again, lads. I would love him in our team.
Yeah,
I think he's quality, man.
he is quality.
And his misses ain't half bad either. But
Oh,
yeah,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
This
whoa,
guy,
whoa.
this guy. Why are you talking his missus?
imagine seeing her at home games. No, yeah, he's quality though, and I
Yeah.
love it. I love his swagger, man. I love his swagger, and he's got really good end product, and he's a leader as well.
It's one of those players that I wasn't quite sold on, but over time now he's winning me over, Morgan Gibbs White. I think there's rumours that we could have been after him once upon a time, but
and I was hearing 50 million back then, because obviously Forest paid 42.5 million for him.
Yeah.
So imagine how much he is now. I
Yeah.
don't think we could afford it, unfortunately.
But listen, with the run that we're on now, that's 7 in a row, right? We've got Bromley, then we've got Wolves, then we've got Bournemouth, right? Now Bournemouth are also missing their 2 strikers. I don't know if you know, they're both injured now. One's out for the season, the other one's got a metatarsal operation. So, you know, how long can this run continue? And hypothetically, if we was to win those 2 games, yeah, and then the Southampton one, yeah, what should be the aim after that? If we take 9 points from those 3 games, yeah, what should be? And we'll talk about later in podcast on that. But
I know we got to do the one game at a time. But honestly, I can't. I don't know, man.
All right, let me put it like this. Is there any reason why, if we win those 3 games, that we shouldn't be aiming for second place?
Yeah, why not? As high as we can. Maybe even top 3.
You know what? It's funny, right? It's funny, right? Because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I know I made my prediction in the summer of where we could finish, and it's funny how that ship has come into my island a little bit, because I predicted we could finish 3rd. I'm just saying, but one game at a time, one game at a time. I can't get too happy.
Squad, isn't it?
But at the same time, though, the way this team is playing, man, people are going to start fearing us. And if our next 4 out of 5 games are going to be at home, ooh, opportunity, man. It's on our lap.
Flying in, suspensions. The key will be injuries and suspensions, and that's why this window is so important. If we can at least get 2 players just to take the load off these guys.
Do you think we will buy players? Because it's a weird one. I'm not hearing nothing. I'm not.
From what I've heard, it's sales first. So I've got a feeling they've got planned who they want. So they're looking to do outgoings first, then incomings. So I think the last 2 weeks of the window will be busier.
You might run out of time.
Apart from the Bravka, who's nailed on to go? Because even Miggy, like the agent come out and said there's been no offers for him in January. Yeah. So where are we going?
That Charlotte offer, no? Is that not an official offer?
He specifically came up because someone that Miguel Rojas, whatever, he went on some South American radio station, said, "Oh, the Charlotte FC bid is coming through," and the agent called through and said, "No, that's rubbish. No offer's been made. He's had no offers for January. As it stands, he's staying." So I don't know what's going on.
Brazilian club. They were saying that. So, was it Botafogo or one of those clubs?
Yeah.
But apparently they haven't offered, and I don't think he wants to go Brazil anyway. So it's just like, if we can't shift him, it's literally just the Bravka. We're kind of screwed, bro.
We got to pay these guys off. We've got to pay them off.
What do you think of this comment from Sean? He said Newcastle's weakest part of the team is in defence. They need to strengthen there, in my opinion. Is that the weakest part?
It's just getting another centre back in. Because in theory, as good as Dan Burn is, which we know, what should be happening is once Botman, Sharp are fully fit, Botman goes to left centre back, and then you get someone of equal level as Botman next to him who fits his archetype. So remember, you had Vidic and Rio. You kind of want the same kind of thing. You've got a sort of hard as nails, intelligent, primed defender, and then you've got more of a more sort of raw, athletic defender next to him. That would be the ideal. So I see what Sean means there. We can improve. We can get better. Because Dan Burn is what, 33?
Yeah.
32. I mean, we can't rely on that. And yes, he is smart, but he does have a lack of pace.
It's interesting though, because if you look the defense, okay, I get your point about the defense, but you could make an argument for all the other positions, because when you have Joe Linton, Tonali, and Bruno, which is an exceptional midfield, take one of them out, it's not the same. Up front, we've got Gordon and Isak. Murphy's on form, but we know Murphy is not the full-time answer. Oh, we've got an Arsenal fan in the building. We got Nash,
Oh.
you right?
Hey, you right? Hi, guys.
Good.
Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing? Evening.
You're right.
Evening.
Welcome.
Just recovering from yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go to you then. Overall thoughts on the game. What were your thoughts on the game itself?
To be fair, like there's two ways of looking at it. Like, is it a case of an Arsenal bad performance, or did Newcastle play well? And for me, Newcastle played well. I think that a bit like reminiscent of when Arsenal played Man City before, when we've been successful. I think about the Community Shield game. I think about I think it was the 1-0 last season, where it's a professional job that was done. I mean, that's the best way to surmise it for me. I mean, a lot of people giving Arsenal a lot of stick, which get it. I mean, it happens, especially fan channels, etc. But if you look at statistically at the game, Arsenal weren't bad. I mean, in all of the stats, they were more or less on top. I'm not saying Newcastle didn't deserve the win. And if you look at even the XG, Arsenal's predicted XG was 3.01. That's the highest XG registered when you haven't scored a goal. So it's kind of like, what more do you really want? They could have played better. It wasn't a stellar performance for Arsenal, and Newcastle deserved the win because they won.
So, all right, fair point. Couple things there then. Do you think, obviously, you've seen us beat you before, right? And
Yep.
it's usually a backstore to all job that we do. We nick a goal and we defend for our lives and stuff. Do you
Yeah.
think there was a difference in the way we approached the game this time?
I think you were more. I think the midfield is definitely, you got better players now in midfield. I think Toon Army coming through has made a difference. So it's not like everyone behind the ball. In terms of how you approach the game, it was still. I feel as an Arsenal fan when playing Newcastle, we need the first goal, especially Newcastle under Eddie Howe. We need that first goal, and then I would be relaxed. If we scored first, I wouldn't have fretted. As soon as you lot scored, I thought, wow, this is going to be super tricky. And then, yeah, that was more or less it with that.
Okay. And I don't know about the stats itself, but I don't know if this is
Mm.
true, but did we have more shots on target than you?
So
Yeah.
overall, we had more shots. In terms of shots on target, I think we registered 3, you registered 4. And then for the
Right.
game itself, I think we had 10 or 11 shots off target. I'm not sure how many you had exactly. I think it was like 5, 4, something like that. I think you'll be able to look up to tell me. Possession-wise, we had about 70% of the ball. And like the XG-wise, we were predicted to get 3 goals. We got 0. But all that being said, Newcastle deserved their win. At the end of the day, like I said, for me, it's similar in stature to how when we've been successful against, say, Manchester City, it's been that kind of performance. Not exactly backs against the wall. I'm not talking about the 10-man situation this season. I mean, like last season with the 1-0. But it was a professional performance from Newcastle, and you deserve the win on that basis.
Okay.
You took
I
your
know
chances.
Stephen had a comment for you. He said you were beaten by the better team. Bollocks to the XG, you didn't score. And that's a fair point because at the end of the day, the eye test doesn't lie because you talked about possession. To me, it kind of like possession without nothing else because you were passing it sideways a lot of the time. And like most of the game, and this is no side against Arsenal because Spurs have suffered from it, Man United have suffered from it. You could lay siege to our goal, but there's very few clear-cut chances that are being produced by the opposition. And that's a credit to Newcastle itself, the way we defend. And obviously, we defend like animals yesterday. But
Yeah.
to me, personally, being at the game, I was never really threatened, bar the 1v1 that Martinelli missed. I never really thought that you were doing enough to really
Have that
cause us
situation as well.
Yeah, Havertz should have put that away. But being at home and being, in what you are capable of, I would expected a lot more clear chances being produced. I know you're missing Saka, but it seemed like for the majority of the season, you lot have suffered from the same thing. It's possession without really. You're too methodical. Trying to do the pinpoint passes.
I think there's some truth in that. Like I said, Newcastle deserved their win. Like in respects to talking about the XG, that's only in the basis of the synopsis of how Arsenal played. When people say Arsenal played bad, Arsenal didn't play bad. Newcastle just were more professional and therefore played better. They had a strategy and it worked. It's not nothing against Newcastle. We've implemented a similar kind of stature when playing Manchester City.
Okay, so my last question to you is the tie over, or do you think you can get back into it?
I think that, you're heavy favourites. It's never over until it's over. I mean, stranger things have happened. I remember a game many years ago. I think I was talking to you at the time when we were 3-0 up and lost to you guys. So I think it was about that, wasn't it?
4-0 up. 4-0 up. Yeah,
there you go.
we drew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We drew. It felt like a loss.
But the stats say that no team has ever come. Whether this is a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. But the
Yeah.
stats say no team has ever come back from a 2-0 deficit in a League Cup semi-final, or knockout round. So it's
Well,
going to be
records-
interesting.
Records are made to be broken, but it's very unlikely.
True.
And if you beat us, I hope you go on to win it. So that's what.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
Fair
And
play.
like Isak, what a player.
Yeah,
Love
man.
to play.
Everyone wants him. But Jefferson, AC, anything you want to add before we let Nash go?
Yeah, I think Nash has put it together very well. I mean, what I would
Thanks.
say again is just I think the difference I noticed was just a real confidence in carrying out that game plan
Yeah.
and not wasting possession. So I think we were very confident that we could play our triangles, we could bring it out of defense, that we could break. There was a lot of press resistance going on, the people taking people on one-on-ones, and there was a lot of confidence there. It didn't feel like normally in these sort of games when you play against big six teams, there's almost this inferiority thing going on, but it very much felt like we had our game plan, but we were taking it toe to toe, but in our way, rather than having 10 men at the back kind of thing.
Yeah.
It felt very well executed, so not just to the players but the coach. And I think the coach has to get his props that I guess he's sort of out tacticked Arteta in this instance.
Mhm.
And what's worrying me about Arsenal now is there's a clear regression where you've gone from, I've said it to D-Man and AC, the best footballing team in the country last season. No one would argue with that. And I think you had the highest stats for the whole of 2024 as well.
That's
But
correct.
the
Yeah.
regression is crazy, and you look more rigid and static. And I don't know, so who in the coaching team has guided Arteta to take you guys in this direction. But maybe this is a good thing for you guys, that you can reset. You need to find a way without Saka to execute really. And I think, to be honest with you, you hear about Man United sort of looking to sell the likes of Rashford,
No
Garnacho, etc.
thanks.
I think you guys need to look to sell Martinelli. He is not good enough. And the worst thing is, I think you've let the wrong player go. You let Emil Smith-Rowe go and kept Martinelli.
Yeah, I rate Smith Rowe. I think Martinelli's still got a bit of time. I think that's what I would say with Arsenal. I know that obviously it's not been for all of the best performances thus far, but if we had beat Brighton, then I think we're either on similar points or more points than we are at this stage last season. So it's like, what do Arsenal fans really want? Before Arteta took over, we would be lucky to be competing for fourth place. I mean, by January, fourth place was out of sight. At the moment, we're steady in second. We'll probably definitely qualify for Champions League. But at the end of the day, I think the reason that there's such an outroar about the Carabao Cup result is more to do with how well Liverpool are doing this season and the fact that Manchester City have somewhat regressed, rather than in and of itself just the Carabao Cup to Arsenal. But on the day, Newcastle were the better team. They deserved their flowers. I believe your co-host was correct, or it was you that said it, that you are better than the sum of your parts, and like Newcastle did a stellar job. They deserved a victory on that basis.
Oh no, big up.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Yeah, man.
I've got a question for the panel as well.
Yeah.
If you had a choice, not saying it would go that way, but if you had a choice as Newcastle fans, would you take a Carabao Cup victory, but then Isak leaves, or top four?
Top four all day.
Why are you doing that, bro?
Top four. It's not even a choice. It's not even a choice.
No, but
How long without a cup? And
that's what I'm saying.
I know.
I'm not losing Isak.
It's not as straightforward, but I'd have to say keep Isak, but because we can go again next season. Yeah.
But last one, Carabao Cup and FA Cup, or Isak, and he goes to Arsenal.
No
Two cups.
chance. No chance.
Isak is worth, I don't know, he's worth like 10 players at the moment, man.
Yeah. Listen,
how many world-class players have we seen at the club in our time being alive? And arguably he's one of those.
Yeah,
how many cups have we seen since we've been alive? Either
That's what I'm saying. Not seeing it for a little bit more makes no difference,
bro.
Do you know what I mean? It makes no difference, bro.
Joseph said he's taking the cup. He's taking the cup. So
listen, we gotta win. We gotta win something before I turn 50, right?
If it's Premier League, which obviously that isn't happening anytime soon, or the FA Cup, that's another story. This trophy, I know it could be the trophy that breaks the duck, but we have to look at it. It's a third tier trophy where the prize is you get Europa Conference League.
Beggars can't be
Yeah.
choosers, though, bro. That's the thing. Beggars can't be choosers.
I'll
And
hold out. I'll
remember.
wait.
Hold on.
I'll
Remember, most of the great teams of late start with a League Cup win, and
They
then
do.
they start building from there.
Yes.
So we have
Even
to start
Mourinho's
somewhere.
Chelsea did, didn't they?
Yeah,
As well?
they
So did
did.
Pep. So did Pep. Pep
But
started
just
with
to
the
make
League
sure I
Cup.
got it,
You
I
gotta
got it
start
right.
somewhere.
You'd all take Isak over those two trophies, Carabao Cup
I'm
and
not
FA
saying
Cup.
anything. I'm
No,
not saying
FA
anything.
Cup's another story for me because
The FA Cup, you let Isak go.
I would, I know it sounds like, but it's got so much history, man. Like
I don't
for me
know.
personally, right? We've all been there, isn't it? You grow up.
He's thinking about the Man U game, innit? He's thinking about the Man U final.
Watch all the FA Cup games, and those back-to-back final defeats for me as a kid really traumatized me, man. Because I genuinely thought there was a chance against Arsenal. I knew we would lose to Man United. That team was too good. But the Arsenal team, especially when Shearer hit the post and everything, I really thought.
Well, the Arsenal team with the Nelka in that.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I knew.
Yeah, I still thought we had a chance. I still
Yeah?
thought we had a chance. Yeah.
Whoa, who was our manager then?
We were good. We were good in that run in the
Who was
FA.
our manager? Was it Hullet? Was it
Bullet, yeah.
Yeah,
so
Wait,
right.
did you not have Dabazas then?
No, stop. Hey, listen. Thank you, Nash, for joining.
Hey, man, like Tabby Lass, legend.
No.
Anyway.
You don't know Nash. I know where Nash is going with this. Thank you, Nash, for joining. Big up for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Appreciate
Great
it.
Man's
podcast as
kicking him
always.
out.
Oh,
Big
he's
up,
going with
big
the
up.
the handoff, the rugby handoff in the
Yeah,
face.
man.
That
I know where he's going with it.
VAR would have ruled it out if it was today. Yeah, that one.
Big up.
All right,
Anyway,
take care.
Salute, man.
Spur
Salute.
camp forever.
bye. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Listen.
Thanks, guys.
You don't know where Nash would get. Listen, I know him, bruv. It's long. It's long.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
I don't mind it, man. I thought that we're gonna get into some good.
No, but you
some
know what?
extra conversation.
Nash is one of my best friends, right? We've been like, but he loves to. He's a manipulator, bruv. Bruv. You know what he did to me once? He said to me once. He goes, "Oh, this is years ago." He said, "Oh, would you ever have Steve Bruce managing your club?" I said, "No, that would never happen." Yeah. Then it happened. Yeah. Before that, he knew how much I hated Sam Allardyce. He used to talk me about big Sam. I said, he's never going to manage Newcastle. He gets to manage Newcastle. But he never gets to now. Now forget it. It's long. But we had a few more comments as well. I can see.
Oh, lots of comments, man. They've been busy in there.
Yeah, Gary Thomas, big up Gary. He said it was a tactical move that won us the game. Free pressing, then going 1-5-5 or 1-6-4. Eddie Howe was masterful. Fair enough. He did switch it up. Eddie Howe, he's showing his tactical nous of late. To be fair,
Yeah,
you have to give him credit.
And I have to give it credit because in the past, what I'm saying that like no adaptation to our formation, because there was games where we would just stick to that 4-3-3 till we die, right? We were riding it out, and now we're seeing the difference in this and a bit more adaptive and technical now. So give credit where it's due, man.
You see Steven's comment.
Which one? Which one?
I'd rather be whipped by 1,000 naked virgins than lose Isak.
Wow.
By the way, that was a good comment from the one you just put with Gary, but he's been very kind with the maths. 155 looks a lot more flattering than 055. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's true. But he also said the tie isn't over. We have a lot of pressure on our shoulders at St. James's Park that could prove our downfall if not managed correctly, which is true. What's impressed me is that obviously we didn't take the team photo. The Gordon he came out at the interview, said, "Listen, the tie's not over." Eddie Howe said the same, and if you notice on all the Instagram posts, they're all saying it's half time. We have to go again, and I think they will, approach it professionally.
Discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not going to take it for granted. And if we get that first goal, it's over. But
it's only the fans that are gassed. It's only us lot who were like,
certified are booking hotels near Wembley and all sorts. Brother. It's mad.
Yeah, the Geordies are apparently like in real time. Flight prices were just going up. So
big up the Red Pitch podcast. He's an Arsenal fan as well. I might be on this podcast tomorrow actually. 7 o'clock. Yeah, just a
promo.
Review.
Promo.
Yeah. I done told you about Declan Rice anyway, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Declan Rice.
Be that villain.
Wait there. I gotta highlight it. I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about Declan's Rice corner, right? That didn't even like enter the pitch, and it went off the pitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Basmati, man. Basmati.
Double D calls him Basmati Busquets.
American long grain.
Yeah, big up Double D's in the building as well, man. He called you
Big up.
Jefferson
Double
McMahon.
D.
But yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Anything else you guys want to discuss before we shoot off?
No,
Anything
we're
else?
just
You
so
want
gassed. Like, I want it to end. Like, if there was, I wish I could review this game again and again.
Listen, I watched it again this
You
morning.
don't have to end, man. We can just keep talking. But no, I'm joking. But anyway, just like once again, salute to the man, head man.
That sums him up,
right?
innit? That just sums him up.
Headman, right?
Wise guy.
Big him up. Big him up. I also
Yeah.
want to give a big shout out as well to the two gladiators at the back, man, right? These two men right here. Look at them. These men got no neck, right? They got no neck.
Please tell me
They're
you
just
got the
like,
Isak one. Please tell me you got the Isak one.
I
Which
don't
one?
have the
With
Isak
the
one.
Lego
I actually
characters.
forgot. I forgot.
Oh my god.
I forgot
There's
to get
one
that one.
against Man United where he's done it with the rats. 'Cause you know that they had
No.
the problem with the rats.
Yeah.
And, like every time we beat someone, so now because of Arteta and the Lego head, he done the Lego man. Hilarious,
Yeah.
man.
And I also want to give a big shout out to some of the support who was. I think they might have been there at the game last night, but they were also there at the Tottenham game. This is the Brazilians of us halves who showed great support to the club as well. And we are so back.
We got a comment from Gary as well from Newcastle Talk TV. He said, "When are you bringing the boys over on the Talk TV?" So they're clamoring for a little triple threat on Newcastle Talk TV. So we're gonna have to arrange that one time, man. Gonna have to arrange it.
Wait, is this guy Gary with the Brummie accent?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Big up, Gary. Big up.
We'll have to see what we can do for that. We'll have to see what we can do. I ain't been on
We
when
should
you've
have
been
got
on.
him to
Jefferson.
flip over. He could have joined. I didn't know he was in the house. He could have joined us.
Next time we'll get you on, Gary, as well, man. We'll get you on. Sean said, "Oh, just a reminder: if we score early at St James's Park, it's game on." No, it's not, because we'll score. We'll just end it with a draw. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Yeah, we will score. We will score against you at St James's. So you're gonna have to score a hell of a lot. Yeah, don't worry about scoring first and scoring early. Nah, don't worry. It's not phasing us, mate. It's not.
Isak's home anyway. It's home turf, man.
I loved what you said, D man. I think it was in the last pod, right? When you said "drink it in, man." That's a saying of my favorite wrestler. Double D, we know this. Chris Jericho. He
Oh
used
yeah.
to go, "Drink it in, man." So that's what we're doing right now with this victory. But we've got to keep pushing on. And like I said, for me, the next 3 games, if we do that, then we're back. For me.
Wait. So
I need to ask everyone in the chat.
Before we end this podcast right here, right? Because when the blow whistle, I did message in the group, and I was just like, Jefferson, have we fully turned the corner? That's a joke in it, just jesting. And then he come back with the next 3 games. If we do that, we're flying. And I'm just like, I had to laugh, man. So Jefferson, you don't have to like give rationale to your decision around that. But
yeah.
It's an interesting one though.
Yesterday was credible. Like there's, how can I explain it? There is no critique you could give to the game yesterday. Everything was 10 out of 10. The player selection based on who was available, the structure, the defensive shape, the tactics, the goals, perfect. Arsenal were pretty much full strength and they were at home. That is a credible win to show we are on our way to being back. No food sickness, no tiredness from Champions League, no bottom 3 team, no variable.
No, listen.
Okay. So should we finish top 4 at the end of the season, right? And we look at all the victories that we got. Yeah. Are you going to still say, yeah, but we beat Villa with 10 men? Yeah, we beat Man United without those 2 days. Yeah, we beat.
This is the thing. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You play who you play, and you beat them.
I'm traumatized. Okay,
that's it.
14. We have 14 years of shit. Yeah.
Do you think?
And then listen, we got hyped. The West Ham was the one for me. It cut me, man. It cut me. I was just like, nah, I'm done.
Right.
So I'm holding back as long as possible.
But would you not say we've recovered in the greatest of all fashions?
Bruv, We've
we're
gone
doing
to
good.
Tottenham
We're
and
doing
took their
good.
scalp.
We're
We
doing
took
good.
their scalp. We
Bruv,
won Man United scalp.
But I'm saying, we've won 7 straight games
It's
and
paper.
conceded
Some
2
of them
goals,
are
bro.
some of
Bruv.
them are paper victories, guys.
Bro,
No, man. No.
bro.
Yes, man.
Hold on.
Listen,
Hold
that
on,
one win yesterday, in the fashion it was done, is better than the whole run combined.
Listen.
Do I lie?
No,
Do I lie?
No, you are lying. You are lying. Bro, listen. Listen, Aston Villa beat Man City the week before.
Champions League, tiredness.
No.
That was us last season.
No,
that was us last
hold
season.
on. No, but what was it? Tiredness that beat the Man City?
What do you mean?
Was it tiredness that beat Man City for Aston Villa when we played them? When they played us the week after, was it tiredness?
Coping with the games, innit? The
We
volume
beat.
of games.
We
so you're
slapped
you become inconsistent, innit?
Ipswich. We dealt with Ipswich.
Where at Ipswich?
Ipswich? What did they do the week after? They beat Chelsea.
Bottom three.
No,
Top
they
three or
beat
bottom three.
They beat a team above us. They beat Chelsea. Yeah.
How many wins do they have all season?
They beat Chelsea.
How many wins do they have all season?
Yeah, but they beat Chelsea. That same team
They beat Chelsea.
Beat Chelsea. Yeah,
okay.
They beat Chelsea.
But what's their record in the league?
It doesn't matter. I'm saying they beat Chelsea. So that it's still
where are they in the league table?
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Manchester United.
Hold on.
Manchester United drew Liverpool. Yeah. Tottenham with that same dusty team just beat Liverpool. Yeah. So don't tell me about
but Spurs
at home.
Okay, where did Spurs finish last season?
Above us.
Right. So they're a quality team. Yeah.
So he's going to beat them, no?
Listen. If this was boxing or tennis, yeah, right? Beating Ipswich is like beating whatever the 30th seed, innit? We're like top 4, top 5 seed, really and truly, right? So what are we gonna celebrate beating minnows? Is that the standard? Is that the standard to the club now?
Stop giving standards, bro.
Where we at?
If you're in the Premiership, you're in the Premiership. That's how it goes. If you're in the Premiership, you're in the Premiership.
Oh, we beat the Arsenals and all that. I'm with it.
Yeah, I'll go again, Jefferson. I'll go again. I'll ask you again. How many teams have put together a 5-game winning run?
Against who?
Yes, I'm asking you again too. Bro,
who?
we're at the stage of the season where everybody played everybody. So tell me again. Everybody's played everybody. So who's done the 5-game winning run?
Like you said, Chelsea and Forest. So
why haven't
can we bring it
done
up? Can we bring it up? Let's bring up
why
Forest's 5 wins. I want to see who they were against.
Why haven't Liverpool?
No. Let's do this now.
Jefferson, answer the question.
Do this now.
No, answer the question, bro. Why haven't Liverpool, the best team in the league, why haven't they done it? Because they played everyone that we played.
You said another 2 teams have done it. So let's take a look in it.
Liverpool. I'm asking about Liverpool, the best team. Let's start from the top team. Why haven't they done it? If it's so easy to do, why have they done it?
They're top of the league. It doesn't matter about the runs, innit? They've won the most games in the league, innit?
Bro.
That's why they're top.
You're moving goalposts. Let's focus on what we've done and compare it.
I'm looking at Forest, yeah?
No, compare what we've done.
Where's this winning run? I want to check
the last 6 games that they played.
So what? They've got Wolves, okay, shit. Everton, shit. Spurs, decent. Brentford, decent. They beat us. Villa, decent. Man United, decent. So it's similar to us, isn't it? So again, I'm not waxing lyrical about them because there's some.
You're not waxing lyrical about Forest, bruv. You've been waxing lyrical about Forest all season.
Let's see Chelsea's. Let's see Chelsea's now. Let's see Chelsea's now. No, I'm talking about the run. Because the way you lot are talking is that we've been beating some world beaters, innit? I'm just trying to keep
that, bro.
a level head.
We're not saying that.
Jefferson, let me make it clear.
Where's Chelsea's winning run? Where is it?
Jefferson, listen. Let me make it clear so no confusion. I'm not waxing lyrical about the opposition. I'm waxing about what we've done because very few teams have done it, playing the same teams. Better teams than us have done it.
And Leicester.
Listen to what I'm saying. Better teams have played Ipswich and Leicester and whatnot and have not gone on that winning run.
Must not be many, bruv, because they're still in the bottom 3.
Bruv, I'm saying every other team, bar Liverpool, Forest and Chelsea, have not done it. They played the same teams we've played. Yeah? They played the same teams and they haven't, not like them playing six world beaters in a row. Yeah? They played, especially Liverpool. Liverpool played every team worse than them in a row. They haven't done it. So let's not
I'll tell you what. So look, our
Credit where it's
standards
due, innit?
are clearly different. So if people want to scream and shout about
But we're not.
some of these
We're not.
circumstances in the team, that's fine.
You're just. I'm saying to say that this Arsenal win is the one credible one we've done over the 6-1 is ludicrous, bro. That's ludicrous.
It's
Yeah,
definitely the
that's absolutely
most
ludicrous.
credible. It's
No,
the
most credible.
because,
Fair enough.
because there's
We're
no
not the one
variables.
credible.
There's
Not
no
the one credible.
variables.
Bro,
Every single one could arguably be disputed in some
Bro,
kind of way.
didn't Arsenal have a
That
sickness bug?
victory yesterday was undisputed.
Didn't Arsenal have a sickness bug going through the team? Wasn't that reported? The same thing as Spurs. Was
Apparently,
that
but
not
they
reported?
turned up. But they turned up. Was that not a strong team? Was that
No, it
apart
was a strong
from
team.
Saka? Was that not their strongest team? I could be
Yeah.
wrong, innit?
No, it probably was. I think it was.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
what I mean. You cannot take that away from Newcastle United. We beat the best they had to offer.
Bro, we
That's
beat
what I'm
whoever.
talking about,
All
innit?
I'm saying is,
With 2 players suspended as well.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, whoever we faced, don't care who is, we've beaten them. Yeah, to go on a 7-game run and concede 2 goals, I don't care who you face, because you were afraid about
Only
Leicester, you were
beat-
afraid about Ipswich. So don't tell me that about relegation for them, because those 2 games you were fretting about. Yeah, you were fretting about.
You mistake me with AC, bruv.
No.
AC. What
Because
was
you
my
could-
prediction? What was my prediction? I didn't say we were going to lose against Leicester.
No,
I
you
said
didn't
it would
say
be tight. I said
Yeah.
we'd win 2-1.
both games. You could see, and you didn't.
AC predicted us to lose.
Did you predict
Yeah?
us to win both games? Did you predict us to win both games?
What, Ipswich? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I don't think you did.
I said 1-0. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What about the games after that?
I've been quite positive, boys.
Again, about the
I've been
games
quite
after that.
positive.
Did you
Any
predict we're gonna?
listeners, this is a myth, yeah?
Did you predict we're gonna win all those games? Yes or no?
Not all of them, no.
So we've exceeded your expectations, no?
Not
Yes or no?
exceeded.
Huh?
Not
If you predict,
exceeded.
if you're not predicting we're gonna win every game and we've won every game,
Yeah,
have we
but
not-
people get
have we
people
not-
get predictions wrong, no?
yeah,
We
so
all get predictions wrong.
exactly. So we've
But
exceeded.
in that moment in time, it's not my expectations. It was a prediction. I got a prediction wrong.
Okay, so we've exceeded
My
your prediction.
expectations of this team is top 4. That's my
No,
expectation.
forget yeah, but
We're
we don't know.
below where I think we should
don't
be
know
right
where
now.
we're going to finish. We don't know where we're going to finish. But what I'm saying is, we exceeded what you thought we were going to do in those games. Yes or no?
No, because you're talking about a prediction. A
So
prediction is not an
But
expectation.
if you predict that we're going to draw a game and we win the game, have we not exceeded what you predicted? Yes or no?
You exceeded what I predicted. Yeah, not my
Yeah.
expectations.
So you predict.
It's
you
a
expect-
timestamp.
Expectation is a prediction,
Tell
though.
me,
This is what I'm
wait,
saying. This is what I'm saying.
wait, hold on. Have you guys
Expectation-
never made a prediction in advance of a game and then changed your mind on the day? We all have, no? Oh,
Did
I've
you
got a
change your
bad
mind on
feeling.
it?
I think
Did
we're
you
gonna
change your
draw.
mind on the day?
Then you
Nah,
wake up in the
man.
morning and think, oh, we're
Bro.
gonna win.
Bro,
Good night, Stephen. Good night.
Did you predict a different score on the day? You didn't. That's all I'm saying, bro. Yeah, I'm not saying we've done exceptionally well. I'm saying credit where it's due. That's all I'm saying. Credit's where it's due. But
You
listen,
can only
see that-
beat what's
you
in
see
front of
that-
you, my
you see
friends.
what-
You
you
can
see like
only
what
beat what's in
Joseph's
front of
saying?
you.
Can I say something? You see, like what Joseph's saying,
yeah,
that's enough to traumatize someone.
no, that's fair enough. That's
It's
fair
like
enough.
doubting Thomas, yeah. You know, like the Bible stories, isn't it? Like he didn't believe that Jesus rose from the dead or whatever, yeah. I'm that guy right now. Until I see Jesus and I'm like this, yeah, I'm not getting excited.
No,
I think
in Thomas.
some people are getting
I ain't
excited.
heard that shit for like
Keep
35
the
years,
feet on the
bro.
ground, keep the feet on the ground, one game at a time. And I'm
Ugh.
just trying to have a realistic, like I'm not getting carried away. That's what
But
I'm
no one's
saying.
getting
innit?
carried away. We're not getting
People
carried
are.
away.
I've seen it on Twitter. People are getting,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's okay. It's okay to be happy. We're all happy. You know, look at us yesterday. We're all happy. I'm just saying, if you look at the more nuances and the details, you're in one camp or the other. You either look at specifics because you might be a detailed person where you're like, I want to get better. I want to be better. This is where I see us. Or you're like, I don't care, innit? It is what
Yeah,
it says on
but
the
very
tin.
few people are like
6
that. Very
wins
few,
is 6 wins, 7 wins is 7 wins.
yeah, but
I
very,
don't care
no,
in what fashion or who it was against. We've
Right.
got 7 wins.
all right,
And
cool.
this is what I'm explaining. Let's just say I'm Look at Wilder as a boxer. He held one of the most prestigious titles, WBC title. Who did he fight? The only credible fighter he fought was Luis Ortiz. He didn't have the CV. As much as people dish Joshua, the people that Joshua had fought, his CV was better. So the credibility behind him being a champion is better. It's the same in this. You can say, I'm on a run. Who did you play? Who did you beat? That's my point. If I won the Australian Grand Slam, and let's just say I was Djokovic, and at the time Federer, Nadal, and all these people were sick, so I had to play seed number 26, seed number 19, seed number 13. Of course, I'm going to be favourites to win the title when I win it. So people will always look back and be like, there's that little asterisk. You know, if only Federer was there, if only Djokovic was there, or whoever it is. Do you see my point? So I'm saying you either look at the detail or you just say, fine, okay, we won X amount of games. Let's keep it moving. So I'm not killing anybody's parade or party.
No,
I'm happy as well. I'm just saying, keep the feet on the ground and look at the details. It's something to build towards. We're moving in the right direction.
The next thing though is that knowing how good this team is at the moment, and we have to say how good this team is currently at the moment. Do you have, like, be honest with yourself, do you have any doubts? I think, basically, we've got Wolves at home next. Do you have a doubt going into that game that we're not going to turn up? Or do you have a doubt that we're going to lose that game?
What, Wolves?
Yeah.
There's always a risk, yeah. I don't think it's a guaranteed win. I don't feel like that.
I agree with that.
I still don't feel like that because they'll want to bounce back. They've got a new manager and they still have players that can threaten us, whether we like it or not. Because I watched it on my birthday whilst I was on holiday in Gran Canaria. They stifled us in midfield. João Gomez, Andre, and Lamina gave us hell.
Yeah, we had a different formation in midfield.
And people don't realise, but
exactly. You know what I mean?
People don't realise, yeah. Ryan ain't Nori is one of the best fullbacks in the league. Everybody's got him in their fantasy team.
Yeah, everyone knows
and you've got my man, the Portuguese guy, Semedo. They got good players. We can't take the piss.
They have good players.
Hold on. Wait.
So it's not a guaranteed win.
It's not a guaranteed. But hold a minute. You said when Nottingham Forest played him, you said Wolves shit. Where the
Wolves finished last season, bro?
No.
Where the Wolves finished last season?
Let's stick to the facts.
Where the Wolves finished last season?
You said.
Where have they finished in recent?
Jefferson, let me talk. You said.
Right, go on.
Wolves shit. Yeah. So don't tell me about good players when you said shit. Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah? So don't move goalposts when it comes to us. You said Wolves are shit. So if we beat them now,
bonus content,
Wolves are shit.
It's bonus content.
You know what I mean? Wolves are shit.
We should have finished.
Yeah?
40 minutes
but they're in a false position.
Right, now let me tell you something. All right, let me tell you something now before we end. You said about who we played, whatever. Forget the run now. In context, we beaten Aston Villa. We've done a double over Spurs. We beat Man United. We beaten Arsenal. We drew with Man City. We drew with Liverpool. If that ain't good enough for you, fair enough. But then don't complain when we turn up against these teams and we beat the other teams. Who we beat? Who we face? We faced all of them.
I haven't criticised us that we against Liverpool or Man City or anything like that. What relevance is that?
Across the season, we're doing okay. Right. Yes, yeah, we're doing right.
Yeah,
right then.
I haven't said that we're not. So, I just said keep our feet on the ground.
But our feet are on the ground.
Saying we are back, in my opinion, I disagree with it. I know I'm in the minority, and there's only a few people that agree with me.
You know what? This is actually quite a good statement here from Stephen. Nobody in the top 6 has beaten us apart from Chelsea, but we can only be beaten by anybody. It's up to us to win. That's a really good point. It's a really good point.
Fair play.
Chelsea's the only one who gave us a hiding. But,
right. You know. And we're slapping fodder as well. So, you know what I mean? We are going to lose games along the way. Don't get me wrong. But we've shown significant signs of improvement. I don't know, man. I'm not saying we're the greatest team. I'm not saying
yeah. I'm not getting too ahead of myself. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I'm just a bit like, I can't put doubt in this team right now.
No, there's a reason to be confident. Don't get me wrong.
Defensively, we are looking like a brick wall right now, and we have at the moment. You mean people are putting up the statements out? We got the best midfield in the league. They're saying now. They're saying we got the best striker in the world right now. It's up to us. It's up to us.
I think to Jeff's point, going to the next 3 games, I'm not expecting 9 points. I'm not. Yeah, but we are very capable of getting those 9 points. We are capable of getting those 9 points. Very capable. Yeah, we go into the games as the better teams, so we should be. But you know, listen, Chelsea would expect it to beat Ipswich. Liverpool would expect to beat Forest at home. We didn't know how good Forest were at the time. Yeah, Liverpool probably expected to beat us. You know what I mean? It don't matter.
Anybody beats anybody this season.
So you know what I mean? Leicester drew with Spurs up.
Bournemouth are scalping teams. Everyone's forgetting about Bournemouth. They're scalping teams.
That ain't luck. Bournemouth are a good team.
They are a good team. They're here to stay.
You could argue they play football equal, if not better than us. You could argue.
Huh?
And big up before we could
We
big up
got
Ridwan.
to stop this podcast. Jefferson.
he just-
Iraola's a good coach. Iraola's a good coach. They play
Everyone's a
very
good
good
coach.
football.
Bruv, we talking about Lopetegui being a good coach. Look at Abdel, bruv. Allow it. Listen, but
Right, he's
there's-
won Europa League, innit?
yeah, he's sitting on the dole right now. But Ridwan said, "I hope you look with the League Cup or Tottenham, anyone but Liverpool." Right? Who do you
Boy.
support, Ridwan? Let us know. But yeah, listen, we'll leave it there.
Nice.
We'll leave it there. I hope you enjoy the bonus content from the 90s bags. We'll be back again soon.
Raw uncut, man. Raw uncut.
I don't know if we're going to review the Bromley game. If we lose, then we're gonna have to. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This will be out on Audible, on the Spotify and Apple podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. But yeah, until next time, we're out. Peace.
Salute, people. Wow.